So welcome to the Fire Chat, and today I am going to have an intimate conversation with Siri Prem, which is one of our hosts in the immersion journey here. And welcome Caroline as well is here as we are in the space. And this is I just I wanted to have these conversations is that togetherness is not only like one way or two way. So it's just a three person. So we just like open up like as a conversation and communication and just get to know each other even more. So the first question that I wanted to ask Sarah Prem is what does power mean to you in this season of life?
Yeah, first of all, let me thank you, Lillian, for this opportunity
Mm,
to be here with you. And I love this question. And I have thought about it for a while. What does power mean to me? And I noticed that it has changed. It has changed um, in accordance with my level of consciousness that I acquired. And as I as I was, when I was a child, a young person, then power was really more masculine, was more forceful, was more physical, like pressure, was having willpower, having, it's about power and dominance and conquering, and it's really about hierarchy and yeah, and all of this, um, and so feeling, and it was accompanied with a feeling of, yeah, we need someone like that to protect us because we can't be safe in ourselves because we are just weak women, that kind of thing. That was my idea then. And now my perspective has changed a lot, um, because I noticed how there's so many other factors which contribute to the way I feel, if I feel empowered or if I feel powerless. Because that's the main thing for me, is really, what is power? Power is on the inside. You know, I can't really influence so much what's going on in the outer world. Whatever that happens, what other countries, decide, or politicians decide, or business people, whatever, there is not much influence that I have. And so there could be a tendency in us to feel fearful and powerless. And when we get more the connection to the power that lies within ourselves, because this is where we can make changes. This is our power. We can change something about ourselves. Then we feel less victimized, so to say. We are not so dependent on circumstances. Um, what I noticed for myself, and um, maybe this applies to you as well, is um, the more I feel grounded, the more either in nature, either like in a place that feels safe for me, like my home, or when I'm outside, that even in my body, I can ground into my body and I can feel safe into my body. That's powerful to me. Um, the way I can handle situations now, often much better than I could do before, makes me feel more empowered. The way, that I can deal with my daily life. if I come less from fear and worry and more into opportunity thinking and believing that whatever happens, it can be kind of turned into something positive in the end. It can become a gift. It can become an opportunity, though it doesn't look like this at the moment. And yeah, the better I feel, in a way that the more I feel that I can have influence, at least the moment is key for me. At least in the now, I can make changes. I don't know what that causes in the future. I can hope for some results that by this, but I don't know. But I can influence the current moment. I can influence my thoughts when I'm aware. So awareness is power to me. Yeah. When I'm aware what I'm thinking. Is this really good? What I'm thinking now, is it just a pattern of the past that I'm rethinking? That, like playing again, it's not really a conscious process. And I think, no, this is not really doing me any good. Then I can decide to interrupt this and the following loop of emotions and behavior. If I am aware, I can interrupt and I can choose a different thought that would be more beneficial for me. Yeah, for instance, when just a simple thing, when I look into the mirror in the mornings, yeah, and I think, I could think, oh, what do you look like? You need to put on some color here, makeup there, and more wrinkles or whatever, a voice in us loves to tell us, judge us. When I identify this as kind of automatic program here now happening, because I've trained it so often that I'm perfect at it, I don't have to think about it, I can judge myself so perfectly now, that I can say, okay, do I like this really? Does it make me feel good? And I say no, then I can say, okay, what can I do or think instead? This is the power of the moment for me, that I consciously choose, okay, now I'm smiling at myself, and then I look better, and it doesn't matter so much about any wrinkles, you know what I mean? When I take a moment and really connect to the face in the mirror, to really look what is behind this. When I really take a moment to look myself into the eyes, instead of just superficial judgment, the moment gets a total different quality. And so, so the next moment will have a better energy. And this is how we build up in the day. By becoming more and more aware and deciding if this is good, do I want to follow this? And making conscious choices, yes or no. Yeah, because we know, like with every thought that we have, it triggers an emotion, usually, a little bit of chemistry is like happening in our body. Every thought is like send signal out to the brain, and then if it's a fearful thought, we get like a chemical cocktail into the blood. Oh yeah, fear is coming. Oh, be careful, and that sets us up into more stress. And if we can choose here and think, oh no, I don't want to worry about how I'm going to look like in 10 years or so. I'm not going into that. I'm not judging, how you look today is awful or whatever, because that doesn't help me feel good. And I choose, okay, I choose to smile now in this moment, or I choose to think, okay, good. So, what would help me look better. And then I think, oh yeah, if I energize now, I look a bit tired. Okay, so I energize myself. Then I feel better, and I feel that I look better already, though I'm the same person and haven't much changed. Or just choosing to see, okay, this is what I look like now. And I know that I look through more like gray lenses. Like we wear like gray kind of sunglasses most of the time when we look at ourselves, and we see each other's in comparison, and with pink glasses, and they look so much better, and we think, oh, we can't compete, we are not as good, then when we know all this is happening with us subconsciously, then we can choose, okay, I take off my gray glasses and I put on some pink glasses now, and I want to look at myself, yeah, in a better way. For instance, this is the power of the moment that I'm aware of, and I'm choosing health in this moment. I'm choosing happiness in this moment, because I know that this thought causes me to feel better and sends positive signals to my body. So this effect intensifies, and then I can be more relaxed because I feel better. And this will shape the next moment. So I might be triggered the next moment. And based on how I prepared, like in which state I am now, I can either respond a bit better or react more. Yeah. So this is why, I really believe in the power of the moment. The power of awareness and choice. This is, in everyday life, I think this is the most important thing for me. Then I believe in the power of love, of self-love. I remember when I was a child and I was brought up Christian, and it was like, Jesus said, love thy neighbor like yourself. It's like that. And I was thinking, that neighbor, that was the first thing. And then myself, question mark. And I didn't love myself, and I didn't know how to love myself. And so and the neighbor was just, someone, neutral, but love. And now I can understand that much better. First, you often have to learn to love yourself, but you can. And then it's easier for you to love others too. Yeah. When you nourish yourself with love, then your love cup is full, and then you can give. And you notice the cup never empties. And that's the great thing as well. Yeah, the power of love is so important. If we can look at ourselves and others with love, it changes the whole thing, and then it's the power of connection that I value very much. Like the power of being with the right people, connect with the right people. And here again, it's the power of making conscious choices. Sometimes we need to disconnect a little from people who are not a match anymore. Maybe we're never a match, but we, for whatever reasons, we had to stay with them. And when we can, then we can say, okay, it's not so good for me to stay with you, so I'd rather be with others who are good for me, who make me feel good about myself, where I can be more of myself, where I don't have to hide, where I don't have to play a role, where I don't have to fulfill any expectations. Um, but with people who I like, who I share like the same values with, and yeah, who I can talk to openly, and where I feel understood by, and yeah, who I can easily understand. Yeah, this is another connection, and then connection, as I say, is the power, because when you are in that right environment of people, it's so good, you know. I'm coming from I don't belong. I'm an outsider. People don't like me, and um, it's so good when you can have the different experience that you think, oh yeah, there are, in fact, there are people who are like me. I didn't know that. Coming from a small village, I didn't know that. In this big world, there are really other people who are a bit like me or very much like me, and yeah, and who understand me and who is fun to connect with and who allow each other and together to grow. That's especially for women. I think this is very important because we haven't so much had the ability to build the nets like spiders, you know, networking. Yeah, so this is really good. Like, because we used to have these feminine circles, but somehow that got lost a bit in gossiping. And yeah, so that's really good for me. So connection is the other very important power in my life. Yeah. Do you have any question before I continue endlessly? No?
Caroline, do you have any question for Sarah Prem? That she's talking a lot, sharing a lot about this power of awareness, power of moment, power of love, power of self-love,
Mm.
power of connection, and power of um making a conscious choice, which is this is a long list, but she shared it so beautifully. And one thing, I just share one thing that I pick out is I think I need to change my pink glasses. A bit more beautiful. I need to change it to pink so I feel good.
All need rose tinted glasses, I think.
I was looking at my glasses. It's a bit like transparent. I need a pink one now. Pink and square one. Thank you for bringing that vision to me. So, do you have any question that you would love to ask Siri Prem?
Um, yeah, there is something that sort of came up in my mind. How do you feel women in general are standing in their own sort of feminine power right now? I mean, you've obviously been working on yourself in many, many ways through yoga and meditation. What's your opinion? Um, I don't mean to sound like a feminist, but I'm just curious.
Well, I can see that that there are many women stepping more and more into their power, and this is beautiful because we need that. We need that. We need a feminine embodied power.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need this. I think this is essential for us um, to kind of guarantee that this planet is going to exist with us, you know, in the future. Um, we need a big change in society and in decisions, and so this is very important that we have a change in this energy, and so I didn't get quite. I think your question is it. Can you say again? Is it what I think about this? If I think this is good, or
Yeah, how you see women standing right now in their own power.
okay,
Yeah.
and there is still a lot to do for
Mm.
many women because they're still hesitant. This is what I see.
Yeah.
And many are still kept in their old patterns, and they think they have, and they are still very unconscious. I see this with very many women. So they stay very outward focused, not connected to themselves. They are worrying a lot. They are complaining a lot about very tiny things. They can make an elephant out of a mouse,
Mm.
and go on and on and on, and get really upset about things which are not really so important. It's
Yeah.
just because they have not yet found the real connection to themselves and to their
Yeah.
power. So they're very much in a, say, dependent on outer circumstances mode.
Yeah.
What I would say is kind of victim mode,
Yeah.
because they
Mhm.
are a victim of circumstances. If something happens, they
Mm.
get triggered and they get angry or upset. If something happens, they hear something on your news, they immediately get fearful,
Yeah.
or something like this. Yeah. This is what I can still see in many women,
Mm.
um, and I would love for all of us to get more into the empowered state. Yeah, definitely.
And
And another
your
thing,
practices would help,
definitely,
us
yes,
come out
definitely.
of those
Yeah,
blocks and
yeah, because
limiting
it helped me.
situations.
I'm coming from being a total victim,
Mm.
um, and not trusting and not expecting anything good, and really just being in constant negative loop. And you see, if I could get out of that, who can't? So yeah, and it is really, and that's the good thing. My journey has been very long. It has been decades long, in which I picked up therapies, and over the decades I could really identify what, at least for me, was the most effective and the quickest way to achieve a better result. And yeah, and so yeah, I'm this is why I'm so passionate about this, sharing these little practical things, because I want all women to feel good about themselves and about others, and to have more balance and more clarity, and yeah, and be happier. You see, when I go through the streets here, I see so many women and also men, but walking like that, just looking on their phones, or looking miserable, or looking just tired, and and so I sometimes, because I know we as energetic beings, we radiate out as well, and so when I step into the underground, like public transport in the mornings, I sometimes say, okay, I step into this carriage now with the intention to send everyone love here. And I must step into this carriage now with the intention of smiling, even if no one smiles at me. Because, yeah, I just believe in this power. Yeah,
Mm.
I believe in this power. And I often had this already, that when I stepped into this carriage with this intention, um, that I think people sense and something shifted, because then suddenly someone opened the door, or sometimes people notice me, and so I didn't have to say anything. They moved out of the way. Sometimes it's very cramped, and it's difficult to get out, and and then it's easy. And this is also interesting, that the more we become in tune, like with ourselves, and we can balance ourselves, that we can bring this balance out to the outer world, and bring some harmony in with
Mm.
others, because that's what we all need. We all need harmony, and for me also, like, a big power is inner peace, harmony and peace. If you just say these words, you can feel them in your body. I want harmony. I want peace. Yeah. And this is what I really want. for all of us. Yes, and yeah, this is why I love sharing this. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. You answered my questions beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And I think the last question I will ask is where can people find you if they wanted
Yeah.
to find you? Yeah.
Hmm. Yes. I am on school, and I am on Facebook, and not so active yet, but coming on Instagram. So yeah, I can put some links in the school, so
Mhm.
people can find me in the event, and yeah, so
All
that's
right.
easy. I've got a Facebook group, and I'm yeah there also just on Facebook. So yeah, so that would be good.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming here and sharing all so many powers here. So we're gonna bring all the powers with us today. It's gonna be on fire.
Yes, that would be great.
Yeah. So
Thank
that
you.
is all for our fire chat today. And thank you so much, Caroline, to join us as well. And I'll see you guys soon.
Mm.
Bye for
Bye.
now.
Bye.
Bye.